Hello, storytellers. It's Storytelling Ron, and I want to give you my review of Fallout. I played the Fallout 4 game. I actually reinstalled it on my Steam. I'm going to check it out again at some point. It's been a while. So I think this show so far is pretty good. I watched 3 episodes. What is my Christian take on it? And what is my answer and solution to you guys? So I'm going to run through a quick review and then talk about the Apoc game, Apostles of the Apoc, and how you can live in this kind of world, but be a Christian evangelizing. So this is my little take on this. Now, my criticism is I'm worried that they're going to go woke. They're going to push gay and trans on us at some point in the show. They have not yet that I've seen. Why am I so against LGBTQT? I guess because it's gone a little too far. I can enjoy gay characters in shows that are self-deprecating and stuff like that, because that's in that sense, but that's not what's happening in Hollywood right now. So I'm going to be very critical of LGBT and trans characters right now. They did try to sneak one in the Brotherhood of Steel. I saw that they had a they in there. There's a minor character that the main guy Maximus of the Brotherhood of Steel, I think, took her position. And they even said they in the pronoun. I'm pretty sure they said it they. It was very hard because of the dialogue. If that's what they said, I didn't care to rewind and find out for sure. But obviously, they had this woman and it felt like they flattened her chest. They felt like they put some band wrap around her torso to make her chest smaller. That was their one little token trans. If that's bi or whatever, if that's what they're gonna do, fine. I'm fine with that. Just please don't push on me or my family viewing, a main gay character who's pushing gayness on us. If it's a main gay character, fine, but I don't want it, so yeah, we just don't want it. And I'm telling you, as much as I enjoy this show, if you throw a gay character at me and push the gayness and all that, or the LGBT or the trans, especially the trans, I'm out easily. We Christians and right wingers and 75% of the people were out. Don't do it. Just let us watch a show. We don't want gay stuff. We want traditional values. If you want to do a gay Fallout show, do a separate show. That's for them. I know Last of Us had 2 episodes. I'm not going to watch it again. And I'm telling everyone else not to watch it because of that. I know, like even in Critical Role, I've talked to some Christian people that were used to love the first season. And then after that, it was all gay characters in Critical Role. Like they kept pushing gay stuff and and sexual trans stuff. It's like, we don't want that. We don't even want sexuality, period. We want, husband, wife kind of things. And the whole premise of that is just, we want characters that have a redemption arc or are attempting to be good. Being gay it kind of ends up with a sad, ending in the sense of, you have to, you can't be a grandparent, or you'll be a grandparent of stepchildren who have other mothers and fathers outside the marriage. And that's depressing. We heterosexuals don't want that for our own children, even in a heterosexual type thing. We don't want them to have a divorce and then have all these other stepchildren and stuff. It's very sad. I'm a product of that, and it has never been a fulfilling thing for me. I've seen the dissolution of my grandparents in a way that my children did not get a full grandparent experience. And it's, not, so that's why we don't like it. It's in our heart somewhere, in our mind. I keep going off again. So anyway, the first 3 shows I've watched so far, I think they released them all at the same time or something. I don't know. But this actor, Walter Goggins, I really like this guy. I live in Hollywood. He actually lived here. I saw him like a few times walking up and down the street with his sons. He was just walking around with his kids doing, they're riding bikes and doing things. I don't think he's living here anymore. I haven't seen him in a while. So I think he probably, moved based on wherever he's at. But that was kind of interesting to see him. He just seemed like a nice guy walking around, spending time with his kids. That's a great thing. So this, the show, good. It's a good show. I like it so far. I mean, the violence is very comically gory. So that's a bit much. That's a bit much, but I get it. I'm okay with it, because even though it's a bit gory and stuff, and almost like the next stage is gladiator arena paganism, but because they love that stuff and the paganism getting on you, or you pagans, but it's still repulsive to me. Like I'm still, when I was a crazy liberal atheist, when I had my kids, I remember thinking as a fine, I came out of the UCLA fine art thing and artiste thing. I remember when my kids like, they can watch adult stuff because it's all like making love, all that. And I used to watch all the zombie, Italian zombie flicks or whatever. So they were repulsed by the zombie, all the violence and stuff. And I literally let them watch it. That's how bad I was. I mean, they're okay now. Don't worry. They got Jesus. But it was that bad. And then I said, they can watch this sex stuff. I used to watch a bunch of, sexual, whatever, French films or whatever. So I let my daughter watch it when she was 2 or 3. And I saw her. So I was like, oh shoot, this is like not like the violence. The violent stuff, she would like, she don't want to watch it. This, she was like, and I was like, and it wasn't porn. It was just like adults. And I was like, okay, you know what? Boom. I became that was probably the start of my conservatism or whatever. I immediately know that I can see she's going to become so addicted to this. It would control her. I immediately stopped it, had her stop watching it. She kind of, got distracted and went on. But I could tell, no, I cannot have her watch love making because it's love. Pagans, yeah, they want want our children to be so addicted to the love and sex and sexuality and lust and stuff. But I must have had the Holy Spirit in me even when I was an atheist because I saw her immediate reaction to that and I knew I could not take her down that path. That was disgusting. And what an idiot, I am, whatever. So, the violence in this, yes, very, very cartoony, goofy, crazy, gory. So that's kind of a, I kind of wish they'd make it PG-13. You could do some tough, like to me, the most violent film is Winter Soldier, Captain America. There's no blood in it, but the crunching and the fighting, the pain of getting hurt is enough. If you do it correctly, dramatically, that you don't need a bunch of blood and gore. I mean, someone holding their hand and knowing it got chopped off without showing that is way more, to me, gory and gruesome than, showing this hand and blood everywhere. Showing the pain and suffering and torture of wounds is way more, to me, the gruesome part of it than actually showing the gore. And the gore can be quick and if you play it off, I think showing gore and blood and splats is fun and silly and light and easy. Not as cool though and intense as actually showing the pain and suffering of it, which I think would be a better way of doing it. Anyway, so I love that they do this kind of the hilarity of it, and this is like the Americana, right? The living in the vault. This is the old 50s Americana, and it's interesting is they did have a couple of mentions of God in there. Even Walter Goggins' character, the ghoul, or when he was the actor guy, mentions God and stuff, and you're doing God's work and stuff, So the Christianity obviously is downplayed. It's not really in there. It should be. I mean, these vault people seem like they should be. Although I guess the vault is not necessarily American as much as it's like a corporation that does it. I'm not sure yet. I mean, I played the game, so I should kind of know, but I just can't remember. It's been a while. Because you can kind of go off on your own little sandbox, adventures. But there's no Christianity. There's no evangelism. Imagine this was a vault of Christians. And this is, by the way, my premise of my game, Puzzles of Apoc, is that like they live in a vault or bunker in the mountains, and they're Christians, and they got to go out and save people. And people don't want to be saved. They're all evil and vicious. But they actually do need to be saved. They need to be saved of their own viciousness, their own. And this game shows that, actually. It shows like her going out, the main heroine going out and, out into this wasteland. And then she goes to, this woman here and, cool scenes. Oh yeah. And she goes to this little town, finds, where's this woman, and she totally insults her. F you, get out of here, leave. It's kind of, you don't see the whole screen here. Let me just move it in. And then it's a great scene where she tries to say how much we need to bring goodness to the world, but she doesn't have Jesus Christ in that message. And she doesn't have Jesus Christ telling her the truth of what kind of a culture she lives in, the pagan culture where they just kill each other as murderers outside on the street all the time, in this town that et cetera, et cetera. So, everything she does is mercurial. So she's going to obviously end her, her demise is going to be from someone else's who's more mercurial and violent. And a Christian would come in and show there's another way. Let's help each other. There's another way. You guys all got to stop sinning. And that's what happened in real life. And Christians got killed. But then another Christian would show up. And another Christian would show up. In my For the Lord, the Dark Ages series, the characters died, which was really kind of cool. I mean, it was tough. But then a new character showed up and said, well, hey, we're going to continue the fate, and go back to the village and do the same thing again. And that's what happened in the Dark Ages. Christians would not stop. We kept coming. You could kill us. Another one would show up. And we weren't afraid of death. And sadly, in this Fallout, there's no, her message is, we can be happy, dappy together. And this show is good. I like what they're doing. It's fun. I hope that, I hope it just, I hope it just stays entertaining, good stuff. I like, character development, whatever. The cool scenes, a lot of cool scenes. The ghoul is a little too, it shows a violent, man, I should have saw YouTube. Oh yeah, that's whatever. A lot of gory, violent stuff here. The ghoul is cool. Walter Goggins' character, and this guy, the Brotherhood thing is interesting. He's a little quirky. It seems like I do like, definitely love the depiction of the suits in this thing, the Brotherhood of the Steel. And here he is, becoming the new knight or whatever. A squire for the night, but and I like his character. You don't know if he sabotaged the they person and took her spot to become the squire, but and he has a character development in here, which is kind of neat. He used to be beaten up and bullied. This is a cool message, and I like this message. These guys would beat him up, and so he hated everyone, and he was hated them. And then later on, I'm not really spoiling it because it's just a good storyline, and even watching it, even if it's still good. He hears from one of his bullies how he becomes the knight, he secretly whatever, and the other guy is fixing something, and then he says, "Who is this Maximus guy? What do you tell me something negative about him?" And then the other guy's like, "Well, we used to bully him." Because I was bullied, so we bullied him, but I was hoping he would get past that and bully the next set of cadets that came in. So it was a nice sort of like, don't take this personally, Maximus. It's the system where we try to toughen everybody up, and he kind of learns that through that. And that was I like that. I like that we show that we do bully each other. Bullying helps growth. Now, you don't want it to get out of hand. I mean, I was bullied, and I bullied. I never hurt anyone, but I was in football, so that thing. But you want to bully people just to see if they can, to teach them to toughen up. See if they can toughen up. In the bullying is definitely part of a. Are you in this? Are you with us? Are you willing to be humble and take it, and then persevere? We want to know that you're going to persevere. Every job wants to know, the boss, the management, everyone wants to know if you're going to persevere with us or not. And that's what bullying is. Now, bullying in the sense of in the back of a public school bullying is horrible, and hazing can get out of hand for sure. So there needs to be a hierarchy and a thing that's going on as well. But public schools are just bad anyway. So I don't know, just bad. Homeschool. So, am I into bullying? No, I'm not really into bullying, but I understand that it exists. I don't think it should be promoted, but it does exist. Tamping down on it, keeping an eye on it, yeah, that's for sure. I homeschool my daughters, and they never had to deal with bullying. I mean, they were in public schools for a few years, but they never had to deal with bullying, and now they're living a life. And my daughter now does get bullied in work, but she can handle it. Because she's an adult now, she knows what's the dealio. Not bullied like physically, just do this, do that, but she perseveres and it's fine. Anyway, good show. I enjoy it so far. Ooh, have I seen this scene yet? Anyway, cool fighting, cool silliness. This was great. This scene right here. This is hilarious. Where is this scene? Oh, that's a sad scene. Where he loses his daughter. I like that they show he had a wife, in the previous life, he was an actor, and his wife and daughter. That was cool. Oh, this is it's not showing me any of this stuff that I see here in the previews. That was cool, creature. But where's the other creature? I really like this scene here. Where is it? I just saw it on the little thumb view. This guy, come on. Why aren't you? No, it's the other way. That was a cool rat bear. fighting thing. That was neat. I hope to see more of that. You know, that's the one thing about The Witcher. The Witcher never showed him fighting creatures. In this one, they at least show a few, you know, and them fighting them. So I appreciate that. That was a cool little scene. This giant bear thing fighting him, and it's pretty funny too. But that was cool. So I definitely am enjoying the show. It's really encouraging. Thusly, if you are a Christian and you would like to check out the Fallout game, I think it's fine. But if you want to do a role-playing game in the Apoc, here we are. I have a game for you. And this, you're not showing the whole screen, but that's okay. So all of this is part of the Apoc and Christians of Sci-Fi space game. You are there's the new characters that will be coming soon, but you play as a group of people in a transport going off into the wastelands and, you know, coming out of a bunker, out of a vault, and you're going to go try to find survivors in the wastelands and tell them of the evangelize, plant churches, and you're going to have to deal with a lot of bad things. Like, for instance, in here, you can see I have them hidden, but in here, there's this is a wasteland, and then underneath it is a tunnels with giant termites, semi-intelligent, and some sort of secret ruins of you find ancient technologies. And here they found some survivors who was a game I actually played. They found some survivors who were sacrificing themselves to the termites, and they rescued them. See, paganism. And there's a burning termite right there. It's kind of hidden there, but we were playtesting with some actors, and then there's we got some bandits, some brigands with their, you know. Oh, let me show you this. This actually was a Monday live stream I did with some of the Christians of Space players, and they played here. This is there's a bastion, or, you know, a gang hang out with fuel out here in the mountains, and there's your gang, and they're fighting them, and got motorcycle action, vehicles. They shot some vehicles up here, killed these guys, then went over here and got them to submit. They didn't convert them, but they submitted them so that they would be peaceful, and then they could start using this as a fortress or church or bastion, and set up a base and go out to other places. And here's a wooded area. What are they doing here? The pagans are... What the heck is this? I don't even remember the story in this one. Anyway, I know the pagans would give up people and sacrifice them to the mutant bugs and creatures. Oh, the rats are eating the crabbies. But they would do that. Here's their hidden village over here. And they give up and then, of course, you know, the Christians come in and go, hey, don't do that. That's wrong. And the culties are going to be... No, we're pagans. That's what we're going to do. That's what we always do. We always abort people. That is our entire mission, abortion. And you got to go in and stop it. This game is about teaching us evangelism. All right, and for a GM, just so you know, the game is a campaign type setting where you have hex maps. You start off in the mountains here. Oh, this should say home. This should say home right here. You start off in your vault or bunker, and you go out to the different. And as a GM, what I do is I roll what random hexes are around them. And this, by the way, pretty scary. This is literally, if you roll a city ruins, you can start the end game boss empire that they encounter. Okay, so that was kind of funny that I did this. I actually don't think though that these started the end boss game, because what I rolled did not come up that, I think. But deep base security bots, high tech AI, cyborgs is in this map. So I have to make a map. Oh, and these are the pieces that I'm going to use for that map with these robots that they can find in that city, with the base. And so they're going to get some high tech there. So this one here is a wasteland, and I rolled on the, in the game, sunken bunker or base with bog beast high tech. This is all these rolls I did in the charts that I have. Large tentacle ants, old military depot, plus D4 vehicle armor. So they'll find, if they take out this old military depot, they will find vehicle armor. They can improve their transport and some military salvage. So this is a, high level. So in my game, there's not like low level to high levels. Everything's scary, and even though you improve on your skills and stuff, you're not going to get like 80 hit points. You're going to be everything. A giant ant is going to be dangerous when you first begin the game, or a year later when you're still playing the game. And then this, of course, the military little depot I have. That I'm going to set up in, whatever the map I create out of the wastelands, which is, this is like me taking notes. I'm literally like of the different hexes and then the different assets I'm going to use on each each battle map that I make. And of course, the battle maps are like this. You know, I'll create like a map like this. This is a little smaller than I normally would. I think this is just this is a big map right here. I would do a map like this with the with these assets. Oh, I think I do have one in this one actually. Let me show you real quick. This is one I did. Yeah. Oh, okay. So this is the one with the robots and the hidden military base, and I'm gonna make them come in from this side. You know, and then this is like a big city ruin. And by the way, again, all these assets are available as part of the game download. You can get the art package. I think it's $5 for a bunch of stuff, and then $5 for the game as a PDFs. And this is it's a PDF for printables, and then it's a zip file, WinZip file for the WebP file, so you can use it on your Foundry or VTT or whatever. And you can create your own veritable mix. You can, you might have your own style of creating this stuff. You might put everything in a big pile and make them have to climb around in it or whatever. You can mix and match and move things around, and I'm just trying to make this look like a ruined city. They got to drive through, and this is the hidden base, and there'll be robots patrolling. I might have something else, but I think that if robots are in here, I think everything else is going to scatter. So it could be a couple of just security robots in the area, and they could just look for salvage and find this this thing over here. What else? Like, here's a bogland I did, and just a simple little hidden bunker base there that they could find and salvage. And there's and there's this like cool, freaky part robot, part vegetable growth with killer spikes on it that's guarding the entrance. And they got to figure out how to get through this water. And of course, there's all these water creatures and swamp creatures roaming around. So this is a Christian game where you go out and evangelize, but not everything is, has a Christian. Let me see where there's one here that was, So over here in this one, this is another ruined city, by the way, that I rolled. And so they can find these people, find their hidden little base that they live in or live near, and convert them and become a church. And there's some basic rules on setting up a church on successfully, hopefully in these hex maps. And once you convert the people in these hex maps, that becomes your hex, and you move on, and then that hex supports you. But there's a couple of rolls there where you can roll to see if they're attacked or they lose things, and then they need help. They call you on the radio and say, you need to come back and help us, kind of a thing. But that that's up to the GM to decide when he wants to roll that or not, and just let them go on with their campaign, or they're searching around and encountering new areas. And you can have maps where they just roam around or whatever, and it's very simple. Like this one's pretty simple. They just find this is the Bayou Boglands, rare medicinal island guarded by insectoids. So if they get in there, they will get some rare high-tech blueprint or part found and some medicinal stuff. And I haven't made that map, or I might have made it. I don't know. Oh, here, I did make it. So they driving along here, and there's this bogland, and they're going to see some creatures and stuff out here. I'll always have something to lure them to go explore the area, but this is all water, so they got to figure out how to get out there. And I'll definitely have something to lure them there. You see some colorful, amazing looking flowers and plants over there, but there's of course giant bee things hovering over around them. But a very unique island. Incredible colors in this pale, pasty wasteland, of smog and bog, and you know what I mean, that kind of thing. And they're going to want to go there and see what kind of medicinal things they can get out of it. And then I'll make a giant beast creature or whatever. Anyway, my point being, this is a Fallout style role-playing game for Christians, hardcore adventure, but also you can create a hex map world where you will have an epic. They're going to let's say you're building churches in this area, and at some point you're going to encounter the Empire. How many ever hexes you build out, and these are all copy paste or print out and tape together. And you can you'll create an empire that they got to deal with, and that empire, you can have demonic stuff in it if you want, like demonic, scary or crazy or gothic-y or whatever if you want in there. And there is rules for that too. It's all light too, very rules light. Well, rules light in the sense of very simple combat systems and all that, but lots of stuff to use, vehicles, robots, high-tech gear, and all that kind of stuff. And the dice system is a little tricky, so you just got to get used to it. But the reason I developed it that way, and a guy just told me, who's a old RPG guy, he said he never seen anything like this kind of style of using these dice this way. And the reason I do it that way, the style where you can continually add up more dice, is so there's no limit. You don't have like a 10th level limit. You can keep developing the skills, the trait scores, the ability scores, and the level of the character. But it costs more as you go up, with diminishing return, because the higher you go, the more return value on that. But you can keep doing that. You're not, there's not a cap, right? I mean, the cap is you lay down your life for your brother. But in this game, there's not really a cap. So this game is available on my website. I'm working on a second edition right now. So maybe, but if you buy the one that I have there's only couple pages of me adding new stuff. But the update will be yours as well. And I think I did update it. But anyway, this is the Apoc game on there. I'm on the cusp of finishing up the Kickstarter, which will then have all the other updates as well for all the other ones, if any of you have bought it. But yeah, you can start playing it right now. I mean, I'm using the system right now, and my channel is showing you how to play it. I'm going to be available. Oh, I got a post that I'm going to be here on Monday, live doing a Q&A kind of stream. So I'm going to do that. I got to post that. Anyway, that's my review of Fallout and my pushing this game, Pulses of the Apoc. I'm excited. There's a dad and his two sons want to try it out. He's like a pastor guy, and he wants to see how this goes for him and his sons. And that and we're just getting that ready to go. So that's very encouraging. Thank you so much, Brian, for jumping in and trying this out. Okay, that was my Fallout take, whatever. I know. I hope this video is definitely for Christians onto RPGs and nerding out, not for anybody else, because that's the free open marketplace thing. All right, in the game of life, roll holy dice.